if you're not planning on moving anytime soon, at some point in your life, chances are you'll need to know how to properly vet a moving company. I'm 7 News consumer anchor Diane Lee with a powerful warning from an upstate woman so you can spot moving ripoffs.
The 2026 relocation industry is a psychological war zone. Moving cartels are using AI deepfakes, ghost broker networks, and brute force extortion to legally steal everything you own. The brutal truth: the government is not going to save you. That is why I am exposing the 10 most devastating moving scams destroying families right now. Hit subscribe. The legal loophole at number 3 is terrifying. Let's get into it. Number 10. The Ghost Broker Shell Game. You decide to move across the country. You search the internet for a reliable moving company. You find a beautiful website. It features pictures of massive branded 18-wheelers. It shows smiling employees wearing crisp corporate uniforms. You call the toll-free number. A friendly agent answers the phone. They ask about your house. They give you a massive discount. They quote you a price that is 50% cheaper than the major national carriers. You think you found a brilliant deal. You hand over a $2,000 deposit over the phone to lock in your date. You are completely wrong. The company you called does not own a single moving truck. They do not employ a single driver. They do not own a warehouse. They are a ghost broker. They are a lead generation machine operating out of a cheap rental office or a foreign country. Their entire business model is a digital illusion designed to steal your non-refundable deposit before the work even begins. Once your payment clears, they take your moving contract and auction it off on a hidden digital load board. They sell your job to the lowest possible bidder in the unregulated transportation underworld. The bidder who accepts your job is usually an unlicensed operator with a rented box truck and a crew of untrained day laborers. When moving day arrives, the beautiful branded trucks do not show up. A dented, unmarked truck backs into your driveway. The men who step out are not wearing uniforms. They do not know what the original broker promised you. They hand you a completely new contract with a completely different company name printed at the top. The price on the new contract is triple the original quote. When you try to call the friendly agent who booked your move, the phone rings endlessly. The ghost broker vanished. You are stuck. Your apartment lease is over. The new buyers are moving into your house tomorrow. You have absolutely no choice. You sign the inflated contract and watch strangers load your entire life into an unmarked truck. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration requires brokers to clearly identify themselves to consumers. The criminals ignore the law entirely. They change their digital company name every 3 months to escape the massive trail of bad reviews and federal complaints. You must never book a move without verifying the physical assets of the company. You must demand their Department of Transportation number. You must verify they actually own the physical trucks they advertise on their website. The ghost broker sells your contract to a stranger. But the mathematical trap at number 9 changes the rules of physical gravity while your furniture is in the air. Number 9. The volume overweight trap. You receive an initial written estimate. The estimator tells you the price is based strictly on the weight of your household goods. They calculate that your entire house weighs exactly 5,000 pounds. You agree to the rate per pound. The movers arrive. They pack your boxes. They load the heavy truck. The doors close. The driver walks up to you and hands you a completely new piece of paper. He says your items took up too much physical space inside the trailer. He says he must legally change the billing metric from weight to cubic feet. Weight is an objective metric. You can verify weight at a certified federal highway scale. Cubic feet is a volumetric measurement. It is entirely subjective and completely controlled by the men loading the truck. The movers intentionally pack your boxes loosely. They build massive empty air gaps inside the dark truck. They stack your chairs awkwardly to consume maximum horizontal space. They refuse to break down your bed frames. They claim your belongings fill 2,000 cubic feet instead of the estimated 500. The original price vanishes. The new price is financially devastating. It jumps from $3,000 to $12,000 in exactly 10 seconds. You argue with the driver. You tell him to take the items off the truck. He laughs. He points to a tiny clause hidden deep inside the paperwork that states the carrier reserves the right to switch the billing metric based on spatial displacement. If you refuse to pay, the truck drives away with everything you own. You are trapped in a physical and mathematical corner. The law allows carriers to charge by volume, but predatory operators use it as a weapon of massive extortion. You must demand a binding, not to exceed estimate based entirely on weight. You must demand a certified weight ticket before the truck arrives and after it is loaded. Never agree to a volumetric cubic foot contract. The volume trap manipulates the space inside the truck. But the paperwork trap at number 8 requires you to surrender your rights before the engine even starts. Number 8. The blank bill of lading extortion. The moving crew arrives late in the evening. They are rushing. They complain about the traffic. They load the truck at lightning speed. It is dark outside. You are exhausted from packing all week. The lead driver shoves a clipboard into your hands. He tells you he needs a quick signature so he can hit the regional weigh station before it closes for the night. You look down at the carbon copy paper. It is mostly blank. The final price field is totally empty. The delivery date is missing. The inventory list is incomplete. He tells you it is just a standard corporate liability waiver. He promises the main office will fill in the exact weight and the finalized price tomorrow morning when the official scale ticket prints out. You want to go to sleep. You trust the driver. You sign the bottom of the blank page. You just signed your own financial death warrant. The moment you sign a blank bill of lading, the moving company owns you. The bill of lading is the ultimate legal contract in the transportation industry. It dictates every single term of your relocation. The next morning, the criminals at the main office fill in whatever numbers they want. They add $4,000 in bogus packing fees. They add massive fuel surcharges. They add stair carrying fees and long carry fees. They completely manufacture a fraudulent total. When the truck arrives at your new home, the driver demands the massive sum in cash. You call your bank to dispute the charges. You call a lawyer. The lawyer looks at the document. The bank looks at the document. They see your exact, verified signature at the bottom of the page beneath the massive, fraudulent numbers. Because you signed the ink, the bank upholds the contract. The police view it as a legally binding agreement. You cannot prove the fields were empty when you held the pen. You must never sign a blank document. You must draw a heavy black line through any empty financial fields before you put your name on the paper. If you are tired of corporate monopolies and criminal syndicates destroying the working class, hit the subscribe button right now. We must fight back. Signing a blank page is a legal disaster. But the technological trap at number 7 clones reality to steal your money before a truck ever appears. Number 7. The deepfake corporate identity. In 2026, scammers do not just build fake websites. They use artificial intelligence to steal the identity of the most trusted brands in America. You want to hire a legendary 100-year-old moving company. You search their name online. You click the first sponsored link that appears. The website looks flawless. It features the exact corporate colors. It features the exact logo. It even features video testimonials from satisfied customers. You call the number. A professional automated voice system greets you using the legendary company name. You book the move. You send a massive wire transfer deposit. The company you hired is a complete hallucination. You did not click the official link. You clicked a malicious sponsored advertisement purchased by a criminal syndicate in Eastern Europe. They changed one single letter in the web address. They swapped a lowercase L for a capital I. They used generative artificial intelligence to create fake employee testimonial videos that look and sound like genuine American citizens. They used AI voice cloning to program their automated phone system. You think you are hiring a national institution with thousands of trucks. You are actually transferring your savings to an untraceable offshore account. When moving day arrives, the real company has absolutely no record of your reservation. The fake website disappears. The phone number disconnects. You lose your money, and you have exactly 0 hours to find a legitimate mover. The criminal syndicate leverages the massive advertising budgets of the real companies. They piggyback on the trust those brands spent a century building. You must manually type the web address of the carrier into your browser. You must verify their corporate standing through the federal database. Never click a sponsored search result when booking a massive logistical contract. The deepfake clones the brand. But the psychological manipulation at number 6 creates a manufactured crisis to empty your bank account at the absolute worst possible moment. Number 6. The last-minute emergency cancellation. You plan your move months in advance. You sign a reasonable contract with a mid-sized broker. Your lease ends on Friday. You must be completely out of the house by Saturday morning. On Thursday night at 9 o'clock, your phone rings. It is the moving company dispatcher. They sound frantic. They claim their primary truck broke down on the highway. They claim their backup driver just quit, so they cancel your contract entirely. They refund your small deposit. They hang up the phone. You are in a state of absolute terror. You have a house full of boxes, no truck, and 12 hours before the landlord arrives to inspect the property. You start calling every single moving company in the city. Nobody has availability on a Friday morning. An hour later, your phone rings again. It is a completely different moving company. They claim they heard about your situation from a regional dispatch network. They miraculously have a truck available in your area, but they tell you it is an emergency rescue dispatch. They claim they have to pull men off their scheduled days off. They quote you a premium rescue rate. The price is 4 times higher than your original contract. You are desperate. You agree to the massive premium. You pay them. This is not a coincidence. It is the exact same criminal syndicate operating both companies. They manufacture the crisis to extract maximum cash. They book your job at a low rate to ensure you stop looking for other companies. They wait until your leverage is absolutely zero. They trigger the cancellation panic. Then they swoop in as the expensive savior. They weaponize your timeline. They know you cannot delay the move. You pay the premium because the alternative is legal eviction and losing your real estate deposit. You must book your move directly with an asset-based carrier, not a broker. You must have a physical backup plan. The cancellation panic destroys your budget. But the document trap at number 5 sells you a piece of paper that legally protects absolutely nothing. Number 5. The fake transit insurance trap. You own valuable items. You have a massive flat-screen television. You have your grandmother's antique piano. You have expensive artwork. You tell the moving company estimator that you need full replacement insurance. You want absolute protection. The estimator smiles. He tells you they offer premium valuation coverage. He charges you a massive upfront premium of $800. He hands you a beautiful printed certificate with gold borders. You feel secure. You think your items are fully insured against any disaster. During the cross-country transit, the driver takes a corner too fast. The straps break. Your grandmother's antique piano smashes into the side of the truck. It is completely destroyed beyond repair. You are devastated, but you remember your premium policy. You file a formal claim with the company. Weeks later, you receive a check in the mail for $240. You call the corporate office screaming. You demand the full replacement value of the $10,000 piano. The claims adjuster calmly explains the brutal reality of the law. Valuation is not insurance. It is a federal tariff loophole. By law, moving companies are not licensed insurance brokers. They cannot sell you actual insurance. They sell you valuation, which dictates the carrier's maximum liability based strictly on the weight of the damaged item. The standard federal rate is 60 cents per pound per article. Your piano weighed 400 pounds. 400 multiplied by 60 cents equals exactly $240. The massive premium you paid up front was a complete scam. They sold you a worthless piece of paper that superseded your actual legal rights. They tricked you into waiving full value protection by wrapping the minimum legal liability in confusing corporate jargon. You must never buy insurance directly from the moving company. You must purchase a third-party moving insurance policy from a licensed underwriter. If you agree that local police need federal authority to arrest these rogue operators, hit the like button right now. We need your voice in the algorithm. The fake insurance trap leaves your items destroyed, but the physical kidnapping at number 4 locks your property in a concrete box miles away from your destination. Number 4. The unregulated storage ransom. You are moving to a new state. The truck leaves your old house on Monday. The contract states delivery will occur on Thursday. Thursday arrives. You are standing in the empty living room of your new house. The truck does not show up. You call the dispatcher. They claim the truck is delayed due to severe weather. They tell you it will arrive on Friday. Friday passes. Nothing happens. Over the weekend, the dispatcher stops answering the phone. On Tuesday, you finally receive a call from a blocked number. It is the driver. He tells you that because you were not available to receive the shipment on their mysterious internal schedule, they had to place your belongings into a commercial storage vault. They did not drive to your new house. They drove to an unmarked, unregulated storage facility on the outskirts of the city. They unloaded your entire life into a concrete unit. They lock the heavy steel door with their own padlock. The driver tells you that you now owe $5,000 in extreme redelivery and handling fees. He claims you must also pay a massive daily storage tariff until the bill is settled in cash. If you refuse to pay the ransom, they invoke the warehouseman's lien. They legally possess your property. After 30 days of non-payment, they start auctioning your items online to pay for the manufactured storage debt. They sell your television, they sell your family photo albums, they sell your children's toys. They use the physical distance to break your spirit. You cannot drive to the warehouse and cut the lock because you do not even know what state the warehouse is in. They refuse to give you the address. Predatory movers use the storage transit clause to hold your goods hostage without keeping their trucks off the road. They dump your life in a box and continue running new scams with an empty trailer. You must demand a dedicated truck with a GPS tracking link. The storage ransom uses distance, but the catastrophic legal failure at number 3 uses the invisible lines of the federal government to ensure no one comes to help you. Number 3. The interstate jurisdiction loophole. You realize you are the victim of a massive extortion plot. The moving company is demanding double the contract price. They are threatening to sell your belongings. You decide to fight back. You dial 911. You request police assistance. You tell the dispatcher that a criminal organization has stolen everything you own. 2 uniformed police officers arrive at your location. You show them the original contract. You show them the massive ransom demand. You point to the truck parked at the end of the street. You demand they arrest the driver for grand theft and extortion. The police officers walk over to the truck. They speak to the driver. The driver pulls out a thick binder of Department of Transportation paperwork. He shows the officers the bill of lading. The officers walk back to you. They deliver the most devastating news you will ever hear. They tell you they cannot arrest the driver. They tell you they cannot force the truck open. They declare the situation a civil matter. This is the interstate jurisdiction loophole. The moment a commercial moving truck crosses a state line, the entire transaction falls under the exclusive jurisdiction of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and a century-old law called the Carmack Amendment. Local police have absolutely zero authority to intervene in federal interstate commerce disputes. They cannot interpret a complex transportation contract on the side of the road. The criminals know this. They operate with total impunity because they know the local cops are legally paralyzed. The federal agency that regulates these moves is massively underfunded. They do not have armed agents ready to raid a moving truck in your driveway. The federal process requires you to file a complaint in a national database. The investigation takes months. By the time the government issues a fine, the criminals have dissolved the company, rebranded, and stolen your property. You are screaming for justice, and the police get back in their cruiser and drive away. The legal loophole leaves you completely isolated. But the digital payment trap at number 2 ensures the bank refuses to help you either. Number 2. The wire transfer deposit demand. You find a moving company that seems perfect. The reviews are glowing, the price is excellent. The agent on the phone is polite and extremely accommodating. They tell you that to finalize the booking, you need to submit a 50% deposit, but they add a catch. They claim their merchant credit card processor is currently down for maintenance. They offer you a massive additional discount if you pay the deposit via a peer-to-peer cash application like Zelle, Venmo, or a direct bank wire. They claim it saves them thousands of dollars in corporate processing fees, and they are passing the savings directly to you. The logic seems sound. You want the massive discount, you open your mobile banking application, you send $3,000 directly to their corporate profile. Moving day arrives. The truck never shows up. The phone number is disconnected. You call your bank fraud department in a panic. You demand a chargeback. You explain that you are the victim of a massive interstate moving scam. The bank representative reviews the transaction. They deny your claim instantly. They explain that peer-to-peer cash applications and direct wire transfers are treated exactly like handing physical cash to a stranger on the street. Because you personally logged into your application and authorized the exact amount, the bank bears zero liability for the failure of the service. The corporate buyer protection policy only covers transactions processed through an official credit card gateway. When you bypass that gateway to get a discount, you strip away every single layer of financial armor you possess. The criminals instantly convert your wire transfer into offshore cryptocurrency. The money evaporates into the digital ether. It can never be recovered. Legitimate interstate carriers never demand deposits through Venmo or Zelle. They process payments through secure corporate credit networks. If a mover refuses to take a credit card, you are speaking to a thief. The wire transfer steals your cash immediately. But the absolute #1 moving extortion scam is a brute force nightmare that happens right in your own driveway. Number 1. The hostage load. Nightmare. This is the ultimate terrifying climax of the moving extortion industry. It combines every single legal loophole and psychological weapon into one brutal confrontation. You sign a binding estimate. The truck arrives at your old house. The movers load everything you own into the back of the trailer. They put a heavy steel padlock on the rolling door. They drive the truck to your new house. The truck backs into your new driveway. The driver steps out of the cab. He does not open the back door.
It's what $10,000 looks like.
He claims the weight was wrong. He claims the stairs are too steep. He claims there is a mandatory distance carrying fee. The excuses do not matter. The original contract means absolutely nothing. He stands between you and the padlock holding your entire life. He refuses credit cards. He refuses certified checks. He demands stacks of $100 bills. He looks you dead in the eye and delivers the ultimate ultimatum. He tells you that if you do not produce the physical cash in exactly 1 hour, he is getting back in the truck. He says he will drive to a different state, dump your belongings in a commercial landfill, and disappear. You are standing in the sun, watching a stranger extort your family. Your children are crying. Your spouse is panicking. You call the police. The police arrive, look at the federal paperwork, and declare it a civil matter. They tell you that you have to work it out with the driver or take him to court. You do not have time for a 3-year court battle. Your beds are in that truck. Your clothes are in that truck. Your life is in that truck. You are forced to drive to your local bank branch. You stand at the teller window and drain your emergency savings. You withdraw $10,000 in raw cash. You drive back to your house. You hand a thick envelope of untraceable currency to a criminal standing in your driveway. He counts the money. He smiles. He unlocks the padlock and lets his crew unload your boxes. The hostage load is a masterclass in brute force leverage. The criminals know that the emotional attachment you have to your belongings will always override your desire for legal justice. They know the federal government is too slow to stop them. They know the local police are structurally powerless. Leave a comment below and tell us if you have ever been held hostage by a predatory business. We read every single comment. The government will not save you. The police will tell you it is a civil matter. The criminals will rebrand and open a completely new website tomorrow morning. You are entirely on your own in the digital wilderness. You must vet every single person you allow into your home. You must verify their physical assets. You must read the fine print. The system is fundamentally broken. You must protect yourself because absolutely no one else is coming. And if you need more tips on how to do this, click on the video coming up on your screen. I'll catch you there.